The second key financial ratio is the price by earnings ratio. Price by earnings ratio is also known as the P ratio. P ratio is calculated by dividing the current stock price by the earnings per share. It essentially gives you the earnings that you have earned per rupee value of money invested. P ratio is normally in the range of 20 to 25. P ratio is one of the most significant parameters to evaluate a stock's health and subsequently whether it is undervalued or overvalued. In case of a P ratio, if the earnings of a company are negative, that means the company is in losses, or if the earnings are zero, then the P ratio will not make sense. So you cannot calculate a P ratio of a company which has negative or zero earnings. Now let's see how to apply the P ratio as a successful decision-making tool. A high P ratio means that there is investor interest and investors are anticipating higher earnings or profits in the future of a company. That is, you can buy the stock of a company with higher P ratio. However, be careful. In case of P ratios, it's slightly tricky. You cannot study them independently. You have to study the P ratios by comparing the P ratios of a company with the P ratios of its competitors, of its peers. We'll take an example to understand this better. But for now, just remember that sometimes a higher P ratio may not be as attractive to buy when it's compared to a competitor. Let me illustrate to you how. Let's take a stock ABC, and this stock has a last traded price of 5,000 rupees and a P ratio of 21. Then there's a stock XYZ with a last traded price of 1100 rupees and a P ratio of 34. What do you think? Which stock would you choose for your portfolio? Most of you will choose the stock XYZ because it has a higher P ratio. Now remember what I told you about comparing stocks with their peers. We'll consider ABC and XYZ are peer companies. In that case, if I look at the stock XYZ, I am investing 34 rupees to get 1 rupee of earning. Whereas in case of stock ABC, I am investing only 21 rupees for 1 rupee of earning. Yes, on the face of it, stock ABC is more expensive. It's at 5,000 rupees, but I'm investing lesser money for more profits. So I would pick stock ABC and not XYZ. Let me reiterate in case some of you may not be clear. Stock ABC is priced at 5,000 rupees and has a PE of 21. Stock ABC is more expensive, and on the face of it, stock XYZ is cheaper to purchase with a higher P ratio. But interpreting P ratio means that when I say that there's a higher PE of 34 rupees, that means I'm investing 34 rupees for every rupee of earning while buying stock XYZ as compared to stock ABC, where I'm investing only 21 rupees for every rupee of earning that I am earning. Now, since stock ABC is more expensive, it can be a little tricky. But in this case, I would still pick stock ABC because my earnings per rupee spent are higher. In the next topic, we will learn about the return on equity ratio.